Hmm. That's really awesome. I'm doing this live because it's been a while for me checking on Instagram or YouTube. Uh, it has been a very busy year, 2020. Yeah, a lot of things happened this past year. A lot of people lost their jobs. People were not ready to. People were not ready to work from home. Corporates were not ready. Even though if you're gonna let people work from home, you're gonna save a lot of money for paying for rent, for facilities, and but at the same time that will affect the real estate. So it's hard to please anyone and everyone. It's hard to please everyone. So yeah, I used to work from home like maybe 1 year before the pandemic starts. I got used to that. Yeah, that's really that's uh, that's really something. That's why I did not I did not complain to work from home because I'm already doing that. I decided to do that. It just felt right, and I got lucky to be around. You know, when the family need you, um, see your daughter growing. Uh, the only thing I was not prepared for is going out because if you work from home before the corona and the pandemic and all these COVID thing, before that, so you work from home and you just wait for the weekend and you spend a lot of money. So you didn't get this privilege with the COVID when it started. Um, and that was the only thing that we're not used to, my wife and I. But yeah, who cares? As long as you're safe. It's just sometimes you feel sorry for this new generation or kids who were born in 2019 and 18. So when they turn uh, to the age or when they turn to 2 year old or 1 year old, they can't go out because people don't want to risk it. You know, if my daughter is 1 year or 2 year old, let's assume that you know the things that you read online that the babies are safe and you know do you really want to risk it and say, oh, okay, well, I saw a post online that the 2 year old are safe from the virus, so let's go out. So what if this post was not right? So that's what it is. It is what it is. So you get, I mean, for me, I mean, I got scared. I think I took my daughter out like in 2020. I took her out after the pandemic started, maybe like 3 times only. Yes, we go out, I mean, in front of the apartment, we go to the pool where we live, but to go out, like to see the street, that happened like 3 times, and 2 times we're actually going to the pediatrician. So yeah, it's a tough time for everyone, but the problem is, and most of women they're used to stay home if they're not working, so that's something not new. But for men not used to, so you start to have a lot of troubles in communications, um, and yeah, men, we are not trained to listen. We're not trained to, I don't know, communicate, because most of your day you're out with your colleagues, or I mean, you're working with your colleagues at the company, and after, let's say, if your shift is 9 hours, so you take you 1 hour and a half going to work. Let's say 1 hour going and 1 hour coming back. So and your shift is 9 hours. So this is total of 11 hours of your day. You're not communicating with your wife and your family, right? 11 hours out of 24 hours. Let's say that you are sleeping 6 hours. So before the corona starts, you have 6 hours sleeping, and you have 6 hours sleeping, and you got 11 hours total working, including the transportation and the commute. So this is 11 and 6, 17 hours. So yeah, 17 hours. So there is 7 hours uh, only for to spend with your family, I guess. So this is everything that you can you are used to give to your family, 7 hours a day. Yeah, you know what? Let me do the math, because I'm really not good in doing math. I was good at it before. Yeah. So 9 hour shift plus 1 hour commuting back and forth. This is 2 hours plus 6 hours. Let's say 7 hours sleeping. So 18 hours out of 24. 6 hours. So a man used to give 6 hours to his family before the pandemic. Now, obviously, uh, you are working 9 hours out of 24 hours, because basically no commute, no nothing. So you get 15 hours to spend with your family, including sleeping, of course. And well, technically, if you're gonna work at home 9 hours or 8 hours, whatever, you're still communicating with them because you can actually see them. But the question here is, are we men are trained to spend more hours with our wives, or our wife, or their family? That's something that, yeah, it's we're not. For me, I got used to that already, and before even the pandemic started. But I'm just questioning other people that I know. Yeah, some people go crazy. I go crazy sometimes because, again, I'm not used to stay home all these hours. But I had this issue before the pandemic. I decided to work from home. So this is something new for me when I decided. It was because I had a situation as well. I and I had an opportunity to work from home for so long. That's 2018. When uh, when my wife was pregnant, I took her. I wanted to give birth in Egypt, right? And when she was pregnant, I lost my job. Maybe a few people know that, but I lost my job, and my wife was pregnant, and I was freaking out because I am already married. I have a family, and I have a newborn on the way. We have money, and my wife is always has been working. She's hard working woman more than me even. I feel secure, and I don't worry about tomorrow. Of course, I trust God, but on a human level, because He always trusts God. I mean, you should always trust God, right? But let's talk about a human level. Having this woman in my life making me don't not being worried about tomorrow. But of course, if you're pregnant and you're going for you're about to give birth, I don't. So you're not working. You don't have time to work because you're about to give birth to a baby. I was working. I had a contract. I was working in a big company. It's an American company, shareholder services, blah blah blah. And I was trying to keep my job, and they give me a hard time and I lost my job. The thing is, and maybe some men have this feeling too. Um, I was working in a big company, and my salary was high comparing to anyone in my situation, because most of the Middle Eastern working in the Philippines are either Syrians, Palestine, Sudanese. Those people, you don't have countries to go to. I came from Egypt, and I can go back to my country anytime I want. That's why I learned the art of negotiation of my salary, and knowing, and I know what I'm worth. When I go for interview or something, I negotiate the salary because I believe that I am not like the rest of the people. I came here voluntarily. I can speak the language. I have a law degree, regardless if I'm working as an attorney or not. But I was in a position to negotiate, right? So when I was working in this company, I know that I deserve even better than that. But that's fine. And when you give me a hard time to keep my job, uh, hold on. Uh, hey Chan, I think yeah, I think is on okay. Here. So anyway, um, so basically, uh, that was the situation when I decided to. I cannot rely on. I have to have my own business. I have so many things I can give and provide and help other businesses. And then since then, I just knew it. Like I will never be an employee. I don't want to be an employee to someone, helping someone. Because when you're an employee, you're basically helping the owner of this company to achieve their dream. And and what about my dreams? That's something that you always think about, regardless, what field you work in. But you always know that in certain point you have to just, you know, to get to that point, that to hire someone to help you to make your dream come true. Because the more your dream, I mean, the bigger your dream is, you will need more people to help you, to support you, to get it done. So basically, what happened to me is I I I always when I work in a company, I always have to have plan B. Always plan B. So what happened is, before I lose my job with these people, mm, I I was planning to switch to another career, actually Google. So I signed a contract with Google, uh, and the salary was also way higher than my previous one. And that's what I was talking about. Uh, the reason why I was able to get, let's see here, double my salary, because first when I negotiated with Google, um, I was I was having a job already. Okay, I'm secured with my job, previous job, happy with my job. Okay, because the big difference between being happy and feeling that you deserve more. Yeah, you can feel like I deserve better than this, but it doesn't mean that I'm sad or I'm having a disaster career. No, I was happy with them. Uh, so all of these things that you should have when you negotiate to another job, don't lose your job or leave your job and then apply for another job. So these guys of Google, they offered me 100 and I mean, I signed NDA, or non-disclosure agreement. I should not share with you the information, but I don't think they can hurt me. So they offered me 140,000 pesos. That's the currency of the Philippines, 140,000 pesos. Because I remember there was a lot of emails back and forth and a lot of phone calls, and it was one of my best moments when I said to that recruiting woman, um, to be honest with you, I'm happy where I am, and I don't mind to continue with the company I'm working with. That's why you have to give me something that makes me want to. Yeah, and they bought that, and I really did not really care. And when you show them that you care, but you don't give them an attitude, but just show them that I'm sorry. Um, you're a great company, but I'm fine. I'm happy where I am. And also, I think I used that line of, well, this is what I'm getting paid right now, and it's just me and my wife. And my wife doesn't work, so it's just me and her, and we have a baby on the way. So I think if you have to give me a good offer that makes me. But of course, my wife was working; she was getting paid more than me, and we were just doing fine. And I'm proud of her. And but you don't have to share this with the company. Always show the kawawa picture. The kawawa is an expression, it's a word. Kawawa, it means playing a victim. If you're gonna speak in, that's the meaning of Tagalog. And in Tagalog to English is like being kawawa, being full, like being sorry for yourself and poor you. Yeah, but being poor is also different than showing that you're actually the right person for the job, right? Because we're talking about income here, but I can provide them all the stuff that we want. Um, it was something new for me. My dream when I was when I was switching between and I really felt stable there. I'm happy. Having a lot of knowledge. I remember one of the jobs I really wanted to have, I was dying to get, um, to work in a anti-money laundering company. And anti-money laundering, not anyone get that job. I mean, even those people that that work in the bank, like someone working in BDO or CIB or Al Ahli National Bank, but most of my friends work in teller customer service, but they don't work in anti money laundering. So I got this. You wanted someone speaking Arabic, and I can sell myself very well. I mean, I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, yeah, I always get the interview. I always. So, anti-money laundering. You want someone speaking Arabic? Okay, I speak Arabic. Okay, check. What do you want? More than this? What other requirements are you looking for? We want someone who studied that. Okay, I did not study that because I studied law, because these stuff you learn in commerce, or you call it tijara, which is another university. Fine, but I remember that I studied some finance in, when I was studying law. It's a part of the subject if you study. So I played a little with that, and I read an entire book about anti-money laundering. And the book, it was it's called. Okay, so this is a series of books, and they are covering a lot of topics. Okay, and this is one of them. So the book called Suspicious Activity for Dummies. And I am a dummy. And anyone can be a dummy if you are about to learn something new. So I read the book. Finished it. Unfortunately, I did not find an audio copy of that book, so I got a PDF file. And wherever I go, I have a copy of this book on my phone. Before I sleep, I read in my transportations. When I commute, I read. Anywhere you go. At work, I read. Finished the book. It was, I believe, was 300 page or 400 page, I can't remember. Anyway, I finished. It's telling you about everything about the suspicious activities and anti-money laundering, what are the programs they're using, and how to, how can you tell if there is, and all of this stuff. And I went for an interview, and they were amazed. And I was actually clear with them from the beginning because I trust. I'm myself. I am confident that I'm gonna be a great asset to this company, who are looking for someone with background of anti-money laundering and speaking Arabic in a non-Arabic speaking country. So that was easier for me to get this. We had a disagreement about the salary because I did not like the offer, even though they changed a little. But I know I deserve better than that. But anyway. I told them, so basically, they don't know that I read the book, right? So I go to them, and they're asking me a couple of questions of what do you know about anti-money laundering, and I was like, I was starting introducing myself. Hey, my name is Adam. 30 something years old. I've studied law and finance, and to be honest with you, I did not work specifically in anti-money laundering, but here is what I know. Here is what I know. Right? I did not see this is what I read. No, this is what I know, and I have no idea about the anti-money laundering before, but I know it's a big deal. It sounds really something. When you would tell someone that. Actually, if you work in anti-money laundering, you keep it to yourself. Like you don't share this information. It's like working with the Interpol police, international police. Or if you're working undercover, because anti-money laundering, you are actually, you're just you're targeting certain people who are doing some illegal activities and corrupt people and all of this. So you don't want to tell people that you're working in this. But anyway, so that's what I said. That this is what I know. based on my studies and and of course, because they say that if you read 5 books about any topic, you're expert. I don't know. Did you know that? If you read 5 books about anything, you're expert. Okay? So if you read 5 books about space, you're expert in space. If you read 5 books about football, you're expert in football. And so on. So this is something you should know. 5 books about anything, you're expert. But I only read 1 book. The difference is the book was designed actually for those who are dummies. The book was designed for those who don't know anything about anti-money laundering. And a lot of professors writing this book. The book was written by a bunch of of people who are good in this field. It was not only by one author. No, there was a certain so technically you're getting the knowledge of, or you're getting the brain of 5 different people in the same book. And the breaking down is so easy for someone like me, who because I came from public school. The public part was actually the last, my college, university, and this is high school. I was also public school, but before that, okay, I was studying in private schools, but until high school, that was public, and also I got my law degree from a government university. So still, I did not get my degree from this kind of American university or German. So not bad, not bad at all for what I turned to. But I remember that was one of the amazing interviews I've ever had. For something I really want, they offered me like 60,000. Yeah, I know. Okay, if you live in the Philippines, I know 60,000 pesos is a lot. Okay, but also you know that anyone speaking a bilingual language or another language, these are the salaries, right? If you speak Spanish, for example, you will get at least 70,000 pesos, but not to mention, of course, the tax is too high in the Philippines, but still, if you speak Spanish, and it's easy to learn Spanish if you just give yourself like 6 months, work hard, you can get the Spanish accent. A lot of words are common. But a lot of words are common as well with between Arabic and Spanish, but of course Tagalog and Spanish, a lot of things are common. In fact, there is a dialect actually in the Philippines. I think it's Bisaya. I think, or something like no. Let's see here. Philippines language close to Spanish. I think it's called. It has a sh sound. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of languages. There's one of the dialects there in Spanish that really sounds like Filipino. Yeah, but anyway, so that's why this is really something that should consider. You know, why not? Learning another language will change your whole life. Right. I know there's companies paying 90,000 and 120,000 and 200,000. And you've seen actually a lot of people from Latin America, they go into the Philippines to get high salary because of the Spanish language. It's just a local. Also, Koreans and Chinese. So I guess if you learn, the easiest one that you can choose is the Spanish language. So you can get a lot of money. That's easy. Yeah. That's one of the things that you should do. My wife did that. Yeah, she learned. She studied for 6 months and then she worked in. I don't know if you know this company, but she worked in Maersk. It's a shipping company, and then she worked in Microsoft. It's legal department in Microsoft, using her Spanish language skills. Their office, the Microsoft one, their office is in Makati. It's close to Ayala Avenue. Yeah, it's walking distance to Glorieta 5. Yeah, I think the building is in front of. There's a coffee shop in the middle, center, and it's not Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. But yeah, that's just yeah, learning a new language will change your life. You can easily make 1 million peso a year. Oh yeah, you just have to have an agreement with your partner. One of you will take the Spanish course for 6 months, and yeah, I know that studying Spanish, going to Instituto Cervantes will cost you a little. I tried to learn. I went there actually, and I studied one level, and it was not for me. I couldn't. Maybe I don't like this way of teaching, but my wife, she went to Cervantes, and it was pricing. I think you have to pay like 2,500 or 3,000 per level, or something like that. But you can go to another place that's really, I heard that's cheap and they're really good. I've seen people actually studying in that cheap place. Well, no, I wouldn't say cheap. I would say affordable. It's called Hola Amigos or Hola, something like that. It's good. I mean, it does the job. So if you have an agreement with your partner that one of you will take the course to study for 6 months, and here's one of the things that you should do as well is your first job, don't negotiate or don't argue with the salary. So let's say that you know that you should take 70,000, right? But they're offering 55. Take the 55. And after 3 months, start to apply with another company. So you have the stability, you have a good salary, and you don't mind to continue with them for a whole year. And that's what you should show to the new company. And I guarantee you, you're gonna end up with closing with 65,000. So with a new company, so this is like a 10,000 pesos more right after you started or landed your first job. It's very easy. It's very easy. Working and having a career and getting a good income, it's really about your confidence, your attitude. It's not about your degree or if you're high school or not, or yeah, it's all about your attitude. Yeah. So imagine if you are because I know people go into the Philippines, foreigners, and they will think, we need to open a business. You don't have to open a business. I'm talking about foreigners. For Filipinos, yeah, you can you can open any business you want. But I think for Filipinos, it's better to work in corporate world and learn another language because if you don't learn another language, you will give chance to people like us, the foreigners, to go to the Philippines and get a high salary. Or you can do the same thing by learning the language, right? If you see someone from the Latin America, for example, from Venezuela, for example, very poor country, very poor country, uh, and Philippines is not poor. So people from Venezuela or from Honduras, Latin America, uh, they go to the Philippines and they live like queens and kings, right? Because of their Spanish language. You know, well, that's something that you can do. You can do something that you can do about it. Learn the Spanish language. Well, lucky me, Arabic is hard for you, so let's just keep it that way. but what I'm trying to say is, yeah, Filipinos, it's better for them to work in the corporate world because I'm not saying that you should not open your own company, but let's be honest, the government will give you a really hard time to open a business with taxation and all of that. Um, just will give you a hard time. I know they give us hard time when we open a restaurant in Makati. Uh, yeah, so it's like you're pushing because this is what it is. That this is the reality in the Philippines. Uh, the government wouldn't support the normal people. Will give a lot of restrictions for opening a business. So let's just do the corporate job and learn the bilingual language and get a high salary, and then with this money you can invest in real estate, and this is where you're gonna, to start to have a decent life. For foreigners who are like, for example, I know a lot of Middle Eastern, they want to open a market, supermarket, or they want to open a restaurant and stuff like this. I just want to say to these Middle Eastern people, don't do that. Don't do that. Because to earn money as well, you have to pay money on the table, and it's just not worth it. And you have to open for a certain place where the Arabs going, and it's really rent district. So just don't come to the Philippines to open a convenience store. Just work on your English and then come to use your Arabic language in the Philippines. And they pay really nice, good for foreigners. For not foreigners, for anyone who's speaking a foreign language. One of the things I never understood about the Philippines is, let's say a company or looking for a Spanish speaker, okay? So someone from Spain gonna apply, okay? Or any Spanish, but let's just go with Spain. And you offer them 120,000 pesos, okay? When the Filipino apply for the same position, they give them 80,000 pesos. What's that about? It's like you are punishing the Filipino for working on themselves. You get the what I mean, because you're paying the foreigner 120,000 pesos for speaking their own language. I mean, when I work in the Philippines with the Arabic language, I did not put any efforts. That's my language. That's my native language, right? So, you should pay more for the Filipino who worked on themselves and they sound like a native Spanish speaker. This is where you should reward, because they spend a lot of money on their teaching themselves, and investing a lot of time on themselves too to learn the language. So that's really stupid. It's one of the things that I don't like about companies in the Philippines. They give more credit to the foreigners than Filipinos. I know this guy. He is. We were friends before. He's from an island. Well, he's a Portuguese from an island called Madeira. Anyway, to cut the story short, he's speaking Spanish, French, and Portuguese. and he's white. Yay! So this is like he got the whole package, right? but uh, yeah, well, that's what people thought he was. Now, on the other hand, there's a Filipino kid, a fresh grad, and this fresh grad speak Spanish, French. Of course, his English is good. He's speaking Tagalog, the language of the country, and his salary was way lower than. I know that's the guy. This guy is tenured, and he's working for so long in the company, and this is the first grad. But are you really? I don't know. You don't really see it. A fresh grad. I just graduated like last week, and he already having all these languages. I mean, what are the chances we meet a Filipino kid, a fresh grad, speaking 4 languages? That's something companies would appreciate. You don't meet these kids, or you don't meet a kid like this every day. Well, anyway. Yeah, I was just venting a little, and I think I'm good for today. Yeah, I'll try to do this quite often if I have something helpful I can share with you. Yeah, yeah. I'll see you soon. Who is this guy? Okay. Okay. So, I have a question for you, cousin Gigi. Who is this guy in the picture with you? Is that it?